So we announced that we were going to have this registration, and in the basement of the church. And Father said, we will start the first kindergarten class in the basement of the church, and we'll see what happens after that. So anyway, I had registration, and we're talking to the parents, and this Jeanette Welch came to me and she said, oh, Mrs. Bessie, she said, the people are lined up down the street waiting to get registered. And I thought, anyway, she said, well, I'll help you. And I said, fine. So she was a godsend. And I don't know, we finally ended up with 64 children, 64. Not one more, had not one on the waiting list, and not one turned down. We accepted every one of them, 64. And in those days, that was just fine, because that meant we had 32 children in the morning class and 32 in the afternoon. Everything, somebody was planning all this. And so anyway, then we started school in the basement of the church. And I asked, we were into the year, and I guess it was about September, I asked Father for a telephone. And so I had the children tell their moms and dads that they were going to be calling him up. And I said, you have to know you have to know your number before you can use the phone. And so I tested each one, and they were thrilled. So anyway, it was a week or so later, we were going to go to Las Vegas for the weekend. And I said to the children, now I'm going to stay down, and I'll watch you get on go up the stairs and get on the bus, and there'll be somebody to help you up there. And so I was anxious. We were going to leave right as soon as I was out of school. And so anyway, I checked around, and there are different rooms in the basement of the little church. There's a cloakroom and a big kitchen, and anyway, a lot of rooms that we didn't use. But I checked in those rooms anyway. Everything was clear. And checked the one bathroom that we had. We had one bathroom and one sink. But I checked there, and it was all clear. So I went up and locked the door. And so we had a nice weekend. And I came home, and we were the first day back, and it was in 1963, and it was the year that Kennedy was assassinated. But anyway, this mother came to me. She said, did you have a nice vacation? And I said, yes, it was just lovely. And she said, well, you know, you locked Roger in the basement. I did what? I couldn't believe it, because I checked the room. Well, apparently he went and hid somewhere. And he was playing a trick on me. But I locked him in the basement. But she said everything worked out fine. She said he called me up and told me where he was and what happened. And she said, well, you stay there, and I'll call Father Benvenu, and he'll come and get you. And that's what happened. That was 63, and I'll never forget, because it was the year that Kennedy was assassinated. One of the children, the parents of one of the children came, and they were crying in the afternoon, and so I asked what was wrong, and they told me. Well, of course, I gathered the little ones, and we went right upstairs and prayed for our president, and so those are some of the fine experiences of our first year, and they were wonderful, wonderful. I knew St. Vincent was to be, and it was going to be successful. And here we are all these years later, and it's still very successful, thanks to some fine guidance by our principal.